The problem with texting. So personally, I hate texting. I think it's one of the worst way of communicating with people. Of course, it has some benefits. So only if it's really brief. So if it's more than that, if you actually trying to maintain a conversation or keep in touch with people through messages, that's the wrong way of doing that, and I'll explain why. So first of all, I feel like it's a distraction. Okay, what's happening? Let's say you want to talk to someone. You decided to have a conversation with someone, so you clear the time. So you want to talk to them 10 minutes or an hour. So you clear the time. You know how long it's going to take. About, of course, it's always you never know exactly, but you can know about how long it's going to take you. Now, what's going on with texting? First of all, you're not sure how fast the other person will respond. So sometimes you get into texting real quick. So you get into texting and it's right away. So sometimes it's like having a real conversation. So it's like rapid message exchanges, which is just annoying because you just need to type a lot, and it's not a good way of transforming information in general. Or what's going on other way is you exchange messages every 5 minutes or every hour or every 2 hours. And what's going on then? You go in and out on conversation, and every time you're losing time for every time that you go in and out, because you need to go, oh, okay, well, what we were talking about, and so it's a distraction. So let's say you are right now you're working on something on the computer, you were writing an essay, for example. So you go in and out, and whatever you're doing not as good because you got distracted. I know some people look for this distraction, but sometimes when it's not good, it comes back on you even in some other time. So I find it as a big distraction into my life. In addition to that, there is the problem with the shallowness. So the conversation you can maintain through messages is really shallow, because it's in order to really talk about some interesting things, or even not even things like that are more than, oh, what are you doing today? Even what are you doing today might take a while. I can talk for a few minutes or for at least a minute on the subject of what I've done today. And if you want to write it down in your messages, that will take you a whole message, and it will take you much longer time to actually write it down and send it to the other person. So the actual conversation you can maintain with people through messages, you're really very, very, very shallow, and of course time consuming. It's a time consuming thing to do, because if you do want to maintain some good relationship or maintain a relationship with people, you need longer time, or you need to like actually write down what you want, and that can take you some significant amount of time just to write your stuff down, to write your shit down, and I find it like extremely annoying. In addition to that, I see also another problem is the problem of commitment. It's not a big problem, but so the thing is, again, it's going back to my first point, that you can, when you decided to talk to someone on the phone, so actually talking, again, okay, you have the time, you decided I'm going to talk to them for like 10 minutes or an hour, and that's it, you're done right there. With messages, first of all, you're not sure when the other person will respond. So sometimes it's not, you got a message and it's something urgent, or you already started a conversation, so you feel the obligation to return. I know you don't have to, it's not like a commitment you have to, but it's there, it sits on you. Oh, you send me a message, so it's in your brain all the time. Oh, I need to respond. I need to respond, and it's always there. So it's a continued conversation. I know some people like that they always have something to do. Oh, and when they're bored, they text. But the problem is that it gets carried away to other times that you don't want to talk and you don't want to exchange, and you will still do that. and you just go into bed, you find yourself texting instead of doing anything or something else. So I really find texting as an inefficient way of maintaining conversation. Of course, I will do add that, and I think I said it like when in the beginning, that there is some good benefits. So like having if it's really short or short exchanges of information. So let's be there in that in time, and this time and that time, or just sending like information, my contact number and things that you don't have to exchange. So let's say you can say that way. So as long as you're not trying to make a conversation through messages, you're supposed to be good. If it's more than that, don't do that. It's annoying. And I do want to add to that voice messages are in between. So voice messages, they do have like this factor of distraction and continued conversation, but at least it doesn't have the factor of the time-consuming factor of actually writing stuff down, which takes much longer than actually talk. And you also hear the other person's voice, and you can transfer emotions. Oh, that's another thing I can add to that. That through messages, sarcasm doesn't work, emotion doesn't work, and there is a lot of miscommunication that happening through text messages. A lot of I personally had like I want to say, I'm not gonna say like I got into some fights, but I got some serious miscommunication between me and the other person. So that's another problem that we have in texting. Of course, that's the in that part, voice messages are much better. So that's like in between, and